Oscar Bevis for the Stomping Ground, powered by Wow Hydrate and available on the DAZN. Hello, Mr. Fabio Wardley. What's
How
happening,
we doing,
mate?
Mr. Bevis? All good, all good, all good.
New opponent, same place. Let's fucking go.
New opponent, same place, same objective, same result.
Out of all the opponents in the running, why is it that man who's just a few steps away? Why Justis Huni?
First off, there weren't too many, really. There weren't too many options. There was a few.
All the stuff I see online is lies. It's
Yeah,
very boxing, and it's to put a million names out
Yeah,
there.
yeah. It's like, oh, you should fight this guy. Why don't you fight this guy? Or fight that guy. Or do this or do that. And don't get me wrong, we asked a lot of people, and there was a lot of people with reasons why they couldn't, they can't, and whatever, and for whatever else. And also, everyone has to bear in mind as well is that this is for the interim WBA world title, so they have to be well ranked within the WBA. So that's the first kind of shortening of the list, really, and then within that list. They get shorter and shorter for a variety of reasons. So, yeah, there wasn't too many options. But I do think we came out on the better side of it with a great opponent, someone who's exciting, someone who comes to fight, who comes to get involved, who can put his punches together well. He's not a boring, lazy heavyweight at all. He is entertaining. So, yeah, it makes for a good fight.
Is this a more difficult fight than Jerome Miller?
For different reasons, yeah. Look, don't get me wrong. Jerome Miller, with his come forward style, get stuck into you and be in your face and never leave you alone, is difficult. But it is very almost one trick pony, and you know what that trick is. Whereas with Justis, I'll compliment him enough to say he does have more than a couple of tricks in his pocket. He can pull off some different stuff. So, yeah, it's me having to be prepared for a bunch of different things, really.
You've complimented him there, but I've seen that he's come out and said you don't have anything that's really exciting in your bag. I wonder what bag he's been looking at.
He's been looking in the wrong bags. My exciting bag is about as deep as Mary Poppins. It keeps going. Like you can have a look. It only takes you to look at like 2 or 3 fights, whichever. I don't know. Well, to be honest, you can go back through the catalogue. I don't know.
12-round war or the first round knockout.
Or what do you want, like a 6-7 round demolition of David Adelaide, or a 3-4 round barnstormer with Nathan Gorman? Like which do you want to pick from? Like have a go, have a look through the lists. They're never dull, they're never boring. So look, I don't know. Maybe he hasn't done his research too well. Maybe him and his team will take another look at things, but I hope they do, because that's never the right assessment.
What is in your bag that we haven't seen yet? Without giving too much away, do you think? Well, we've seen quite a lot of Fabio Wardley.
Look,
we've seen the heart, we've seen the power, we've seen the ability. Is there anything that's perhaps untouched?
I think I've ticked most of the question marks and milestones off of all. Can he do this? Can he do that? Like with the David Adelaide fight, I boxed that fight really well until obviously eventually I got the knockout. Again, everyone puts that down to power, but I controlled that fight for the good 6-7 rounds that it lasted. If you go for the Fraser fight, the first one, obviously it's a war. That one's obvious. Got stuck into that. And then the second one, I showed that, okay, I can learn from the first fight, adapt, get better, and bring that into it. Now, don't get me wrong, that all came to culmination very quickly in the first round, but that's due to hard work behind the scenes, paying attention and focusing on my errors and also the errors I did well.
Yeah. I just want to know, in your mind, has your ceiling changed at all? Because I feel like there would have been a point where people would have looked at you, perhaps say 3-4 years ago, and gone, yeah, Fabio Wardley could win a British title, maybe a European. Now they look and go, he's a world level fighter. In your mind, have things changed? Do you feel in yourself now that, yeah, now I can reach the pinnacle, whereas perhaps you might have not 4 or 5 years ago? Is that something that...
I think my ceiling changed after about my 5th or 6th fight. I think when I got into the game, I was just happy to be here almost. I was like, cool, yeah, no worries. I'm in professional boxing. I'm a professional boxer.
Really?
And
like, not for the wrong word, like imposter syndrome?
Yeah, 100%.
Really?
No, 100%. Because like, especially where I came from, and especially where I was always, in them early stages before I'd proved anything. And that's credit to my team around me and Dylan White and everyone else around me, and all having faith and seeing something in me that maybe I didn't even necessarily know was 100% there myself, or whether it would come out in the professional ranks. But they saw something in me to believe in me and push me on to get me to these levels. But ultimately, when I first kicked on, I was like, I'm just happy to be here. Like, I almost felt like I was just winging it, and I was like, look, I've made it. Look at me, I'm professional fights, and I don't care if I'm first on at the O2. Like, Christ, I'm fighting at the O2, and then the ceiling's just been like destroyed, and I've gone up and up and up, and I'm headlining the O2, or I'm chief supporting to Fury, or chief supporting to AJ in wherever, and now look, the ceiling is this. I'm headlining my own stadium show, setting myself up in line for a world title. So yeah, look, the ceiling is ever changing, ever moving. But look, I'm this roller coaster isn't stopping anytime soon, and I'm holding on.
Yeah. There was a glass ceiling, and you fucking annihilated
Yeah.
it. There we go. Is there a little bit of annoyance that you won't get to put your hands on Jarrell Miller? Because you come here to your hometown, to your stadium, shit talked, wore a Norwich shirt, and you don't actually get the chance to kind of show him what it's about. So I know this is a brilliant fight, but just the fact that he come here, gave it the big one, and you don't get to say, like, you know, give him what you believe would be the right punishment for doing that.
Yeah, look, it is it's a little bit annoying. It would be nice to kind of get my hands on him in that sense. But look, it's not meant to be. Ultimately, he whatever went on with him has gone on with him, and as long as this is still going on, the stadium fight still goes ahead. That was my main focus. Look, don't get me wrong, it's disappointing, but the main event is still happening. The homecoming is still happening. This stadium will be packed out with fans from wall to wall. So that bit I'm still overjoyed with.
Yeah. Just a couple of other things I want to get your thoughts on. Martin Bakole versus Efe Ajagba. Your take on what we saw?
Yeah, I think it's along the same lines as everyone else, really. I think he needs to. Honestly, I think he just needs to take the game a lot more seriously, or don't take it seriously, but don't profess to be this, that, and the other, and you can do all these things when clearly you're not really too bothered about the sport or being a quote unquote professional, because so many people have said it and gone on about his weight and stuff, but it borderline shows a disrespect to the sport. Like, don't get me wrong, there was credit and heart there to take that fight on, the Parker fight on 24 hours, 48 hours notice. That is there. Credit to you. That shows some belief and heart and everything else. But then for you to come in however many weeks later and to somehow only lose 10 pounds, like I don't know what has gone on there. So, and don't get me wrong, I'm not expecting him to be shredded in his next fight and come in with a six-pack and this, that, and the other, but at least go for a run here and there and maybe eat a salad instead of whatever else you've been eating. Like, just
He's a vegetarian.
Yeah, so am I. No worries. Christ. But yeah, look, it is what it is, but I would just say maybe take the sport a little bit more seriously and give it the respect it deserves.
Who do you think is going to win Johnny Fisher, Dave Allen 2? I think it's a great fight. It's
interesting. It's very interesting. I think Johnny. I do think Johnny. I think he's younger, fresher, more. He can. What's the word? He can absorb a lot more, which in the sense of he's got a lot more to learn from. He can pick up a lot more and learn and look back on that. I can almost compare it to the Fraser fight, where I can go, right, okay, look, that was completely new for me in the moment.
You learned from them.
I learned from all of that, and I can speak firsthand of how much I actually did learn from that fight and how to pace a fight, how to pace your rounds, how to realise, okay, cool, I've pushed the gas a little bit too far here. I need to take a step, and I need to relax. I need to slow it down, or I need to push the pace, and all those things Johnny will now have known and felt in the fight, and be like, oh, I wish I did this, I wish I did that. And I believe he's a smart lad, so he can look at those things for himself and go, right, these are the improvements I need to make.
Fabio, appreciate your time.
Always.
Garish awake, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not a Barbie pig.
Yeah.
It's a bold play from the town.
It's the third. Yeah. It's the third kit. It's an homage to, well, not an homage. Even he had his hand in Ed Sheeran. I think he put this one together himself. So,
will he walk you to the ring? Play a little tune?
Maybe not. Who knows?
Yeah. If I just unearth something that might be possible there.
Who knows?
You've got the glasses
mate?
on, so I
Who
can't even
knows,
tell.
Dave? I'm raising my eyebrows, but you can't see.
Final one, do you knock out Justis Huni?
Of course I do. What are you on
Good
about?
question, wasn't it?
Does a bear shit in the woods? What are we on about here?
Depends where he lives.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.